Welcome to the Balls Not Court Podcast. Cortez Paul's here, along with Kevin Carter. It has been a minute, an hour, some days, some weeks, possibly a month since me and Kevin...
7 years ago, our forefathers decided that ye shall podcast again.
Yes, it has been a minute. Last time I was on here, I did the NBA Draft Podcast. Kevin was away.
You were alone.
I was alone.
In your feelings.
I think before that...
It's been over a month.
It's been a minute, but this is what we expect in our summers is that, you know, typically me and Kevin like football and basketball and college sports. That particularly, it kind of hit
so right now, what he's saying is right now, we really don't give a shit about anything that's being played.
I mean...
That is what he is saying.
I mean,
the only thing we cared about was... people getting signed and people getting signed.
Yes.
That's all we cared about.
There's a lot of off-season stuff with the sports that we are particularly cover.
Even though 2 weeks away from start of NFL training camps.
Yes. So we're
so
there.
Soon.
We're there. We're close. We're close with football and
soon.
And
it will be all football talk.
We are waiting for the football season, so
the time
it's going to be awesome. So,
I like it.
This is where Kevin shines and his expertise shows with football because that's what he particularly enjoyed more. So this is definitely he's very excited. I'm excited, and it's good times around here. But right now, you know, we're just kind of going through the motions and covering what we can about free agency for basketball and football and everything like that. But you know. Most of the time we've been on bouncing around to Orlando and everything like that. Kevin's been hanging around with the family. You know, I've been going back to family. Both of us have birthdays in the summer, so and I know his son has got an upcoming birthday this month. So
and what's the name? 7 days. 7
days. So you know,
a week from today.
I'm telling you. So you know, with the June babies and July babies, such as me and little Austin.
Because we when it was cold.
Little Austin.
Did I say that out loud? Oops. Even though it don't get cold here.
Yeah, exactly. But
we do it all the time.
Whatever. I mean, you're rabbits, so you just pull a track out of your head.
It's true.
You just do what you gotta do. So
it's true.
Nonetheless, we're gonna hop into the NBA free agency.
Hey, you went from rabbit and hopping. Good segue.
Yeah, I did.
Rabbit and hop.
I did that unintentionally. I didn't even think about it. But thanks for catching that because I could have missed. That's one of those where you catch that and it's a missed opportunity and Kevin got that. But I'm overanalyzing.
Yes, just hush.
Let's go back here. All right, let's talk about NBA free agents. Some of these players end up deciding to stay where they wanted to stay at, such as Marc Gasol. He went ahead and signed back with Memphis 5 years. A lot of money, $113 million. So he averaged about $22 million over the season. Some of the people that are just going to stay, Kevin Love still with the Cavaliers. Kawhi Leonard still with the Spurs. Jimmy Butler stayed with Chicago. Ray Jackson was a restricted free agent. He ended up signing back with Detroit. DeAndre Jordan, who had a agreement to go with the Dallas Mavericks, ended up flip-flopping on that and going back to the Clippers. We'll get more into that. Kevin's buddy over here, Mr. Dragic, re-signed with the Heat.
Thank you very much.
LaMarcus already changed locations. He went from Portland to San Antonio, getting paid $84 over 4 years. So they signed him to a max deal. And
so much fucking money got thrown around.
I'm telling you.
So much money. I'm like, how did Reggie Jackson just become one of the most paid players in the game? Like, really?
John Wall is still upset about that, by the way.
He should be.
He came out saying, like, we're in the day and age that Reggie Jackson getting paid more than I am.
Both of the guys in the backcourt for the Washington Wizards should be pissed that Reggie Jackson is making more money than they are.
But you know what? Your time is coming, John Wall, because...
Oh, yeah, when that new deal comes in, you're going to be like, hey.
Exactly. With this cap increase, this is just beginning. So people that, like Cantor, for example, getting paid $70 million over 4 years.
Ridiculous.
$17 million. Now, in hindsight, the Vucevic deal looks freaking great to me now.
Hold on. Chris Middleton is making $70 million. Brandon Knight is making $70 million. Wesley Matthews is making $70 million. Thaddeus Young is making $54 million.
I'm telling you, this list.
How? Brook Lopez is making $63 million.
And his brother, who has the limited offensive skills, is making $54 million for the Knicks. I mean, you're right, Kevin. There's money been going around. There was a tweet that I saw a few weeks ago.
This is what. Oh, you're mediocre. Here you go.
They said the contracts average about be $2 or $3 billion combined. How much money got thrown around?
That's ridiculous. Right there, we're looking at billions. Oh, for mediocre.
Yeah,
mediocre.
Then we're not going to talk about which he deserves. By the way, Anthony Davis getting paid during their max money, and that won't kick into next year.
No, that he deserves it anyway.
But
some of these guys you're looking at and you're like, no. Why did you just give that guy $70 million?
Draymond Green is the highest paid player on the Golden State Warriors.
Until next year.
Yeah, right. You're right. Until next year. But right now, he is the highest paid player on the Warriors.
He got $82 million.
Your MVP of the team is a bargain right now. He's a bargain.
DeAndre Jordan getting $21 million a year.
So, what do you think about the West shakeup, man? Because you look at some of these teams.
They shook that up it got shook up like crazy over there. San Antonio was like, look, we'll take everybody that y'all don't want, and we'll put them on our team, and we'll be okay with it. Tim's like, hey, bring on, make life for me a little easier right now. That way I don't have to stress as much.
Tim Duncan's getting paid $10 million. He's agreed to take another pay cut, which is...
He don't care. He made $100 million during his big deal, so he don't care anymore.
Man, Ginobili's getting paid $5
million. These guys don't care because they got their big deals already. They got it before it went nuts so crazy.
That's what I'm saying. They agreed to that, and they let these young guys get paid, such as Danny Green, who put in the work and got paid. Corey Joseph is a backup point guard. He's going to be probably the future behind Tony Parker. So, I mean,
he's making $7 million a year.
Yeah. So, I mean,
God almighty.
Yeah, so this is...
Good God.
There's just so much money being thrown around here. And
we grew up in the wrong time.
I'm telling you, man. I am telling you. So I'm looking at some of these teams here. But, okay, so the Spurs, they got their signs here. Then you got the Clippers who signed their players back with DeAndre Jordan, and they added Paul Pierce.
A lot of big teams signed all their players back, which was key for a lot of teams.
Yes.
A lot of teams didn't go out and just try to grab people. A lot of people were trying to bring back their own dudes. Cleveland brought back their own dudes, and now people are flipping out because they signed another couple of old people, like always, and it all of a sudden makes them the greatest team in the East again. Well, they signed a bunch of old people, so I figure if you want your old people back, you're the greatest team in the league again. Or in the East.
Yeah. Well, tell me about, because now you got, and I know you're not the biggest Paul Pierce fan in the world.
You suck my dick.
But even when he was with the Wizards, they did pretty good with him, and even though he's a pain for other fans and teams that he get on people's nerves, he is a veteran presence for his team.
Look, he makes the one clutch shot when you need it. That's what he does. He makes them shots that pisses everybody off and makes you just go, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, he does do that. He does help Chris Paul, because, Chris Paul is the alpha dog, and you need someone else that's, because as you heard, there was the rumors, and who knows it's true. I'm pretty sure it's true, because Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan's bumping heads, and, I mean, come on, it's basketball, and you're going to have one that's, Chris Paul is very intense, as we all know, and he's going to try to push you.
Shouldn't yell at a dude that's 4 times bigger than you. That's just not right.
True. But DeAndre Jordan thought about, well, let me see here. Do I want J.J. Barea or Raymond Felton throwing me out versus Chris Paul?
Do I want to play with a bunch of crap, or do I want to go back to where I know we can make a run?
So here's what happened.
That's your basic thing.
So DeAndre Jordan went ahead and called Raymond Felton, but Raymond Felton was already at Golden Corral. So that's why he changed his mind.
Look, I want to tell you what happened.
Go ahead.
This is what my analogy was. You went out on a date. You got separated from who you was dating, and you went out on a date with somebody else. They wined and dined you, made you think, oh, you was the greatest person in the world and everything. But you found flaws during the date that you're like, wait a minute. There's flaws here. It may be attractive right at first when you see the whole picture. But then you're like, wait a minute. There's a bunch of flaws here. And then you get the phone call the next day from your ex that you already know. There's some flaws there, but not as much as you saw when you went on this date with the other one. So when you're talking to your ex, you start to realize, you know what? This is where I want to stay, and this is where I want to be. The Clippers were the ex at the time. You went on the date with the Mavs. Mav, pretty up front, good looking. Then all of a sudden you started to see all the flaws, and you were like, wait a minute. I don't want to be connected to this for the next however many years. But then you just sat back and you was like, let me think about it for a minute. And then you got that phone call. All it took was the phone call back from the ex to give you a call and be like, come home. Come home. And that's all it was. And that's all it took. That's all it took. You got the ex called you back. You already knew its flaws, but you knew there was more growth with the ex than there would be with this. So you were like, I'm coming back home. And that's exactly what it's right. All these people bitching and whining and moaning and groaning. Oh, he was childish. Who gives a fuck? It's this man's life. It's not your life. Who cares if he did? Did he sign a contract saying that he needed to go to Dallas right now? Or did all he do was look at him and go, yeah, I'm going to come, but then he had a change of heart? Who gives a crap? The man wanted to do it. Let him do it. Don't whine. That's the problem with us right now, is we bitch and whine about our athletes not taking $80 million to play here, but taking $80 million to play there. Who gives a fuck where he took the $80 million to play with? It's that man's life. Let him go where he wants to go. Oh, yeah. If he wanted to play in L.A., let him play in L.A. If he wanted to go to Dallas, then go to Dallas. If he went and told Dallas, hey, I'm going to come play for you, but then he got the phone call and started talking to people, he wanted to go back to L.A., let him do it. Who gives a crap? Did it really hurt your feelings that much?
Apparently there was one Dallas fan.
He could kid. He's an idiot. But did it really hurt your feelings that much that he went back to L.A.? Did it really, really, really hurt your feelings? In L.A., he's going to play with a better team. Yeah. He's going to look like how he looked like last year. The only reason he was going to get paid that much is because he looked really good last year, is because he has a solid group around him. Yes. You put him by himself, he's not going to be an alpha dog. He's not going to be an alpha dog. He's just not it. He can't shoot fucking free throws. Any basketball player that cannot shoot free throws is never that alpha dog. Even Shaq at certain times in his career was not the alpha dog because he couldn't make free throws. Shaq was the most dominant player in the game, yes, but was never that guy that you were going to depend on at the end of the game or at that part to make that crucial play. He just was not it. Same thing goes for DeAndre Jordan. He's never going to be that guy you're going to depend on to make that play. That's why you have to go to a team that has those guys already in place. He knew what he had in L.A., and he went back.
Listen, this is a team that came back and beat the Spurs. Now you add Lance Stevenson, if you can get his head right.
They are this close to finally getting over the Laker hump. Yes. They are this close to getting over the Laker hump. Mm-hmm. Yes. Now, can they do it? And he's a key piece on if they can do it or not.
Yes, I agree. And that's why I say it's
and he knows. All he waited for was the ex to give him that call and to go, baby, I need you, come home. And that's what he was